good morning, and welcome to Sofa Talk with Miss Ash. This morning, it's been a minute since I have been on and had any Sofa Talk with Miss Ash in regards to the childcare world. This morning, I am coming on because I want to talk about something. This is going to be really about the goodness of God. It is about the goodness of God. And it is important that we remember that we need to keep childcare, daycares, schools across the world in prayer, because this is where we are sending our babies to on a day-to-day basis. This is where the teachers need grace, teachers need prayer, teachers need help, that we could sustain what is going on in our world today. What are we doing different? I would like to say that we need to know that between now and March of 2024, there will be about 70,000 preschools and daycares closing. And that has a lot to do with not having enough teachers in the field. It also has a lot to do with parents taking different avenues in having their kids watched on a day-to-day basis based off of their income. It has a lot to do with that. And at this time, I want to, let you into our little worlds again. So this morning, we want to talk about the teachers and what we are doing, or what I am doing different when it comes to this platform. I will say that now one of my changes that I have made and that I do with my teachers that I feel has worked. It does take time, but there is a success that comes out of it. And I will say that now once a month, I do one-on-ones with my staff. All of my staff receive a one-on-one with me. And that one-on-one is not for me to tell them what they're not doing, what they need to work on. It's nothing like that. It is based of me saying to them, how are you doing? How are you doing? Let's talk about you, and is there anything I can do to help you in your situation? That is honestly and truly what my one-on-ones are. It sometimes leads to teachers changing the direction of where they thought they were going to where they are going. It also allows them to know that there's somebody out there that will listen to them and that is very concerned about their well-being. I will say in my one-on-ones, I do feel like I see a lot of unknown. That is what I do see, a lot of unknown. I am here right now, but I don't know where I'm going. My number one purpose, and I tell all of my teachers, I never expect you to stay here and work for me for $13, $14 an hour. I don't. I feel like this is a stepping stone for you, and I want to help you and support you on your move or your step up in life. So with that said, with my one-on-ones, I take the time to educate my staff on investments. I do. When you are hired on at Alfred and Nash Academy, I'm going to say it is something that didn't start out at first. When I started my own preschool, I was so happy to have my own preschool. But I will say this, there were lots of teachers in and out. I was very adamant about this is the way we run things, this is the way we do things, policies, procedures, and I had to mold that into this new business. After I've molded that, and I received within 6 months of me opening, the pandemic happening, I was not ready. None of us were ready for that. And so I have to say at this time, I now like to teach my staff about investments. I honestly do believe it is not how much you make. It isn't. It is what you do with what you make. You must honestly believe that. You must know that whatever you put out there is what's going to come back. If you put a lot of work in, your return is going to be a lot. It is. It is. But you have to work. You have to spend money to make money. You do. And I will say that, In my lifetime of working and studying, I once was where these teachers were. I remember starting off making $7.50 an hour, and I didn't even care. The only joy that I had was that I wanted to work with kids. I wanted to work with kids. I will never forget, my dad owns his own business. And he did not want us to work for other people. He wanted us to work within the family or build your own business. And my dad allowed me to work part-time at the Easter Seals. I'll never forget it. And every single time I would get my check, I would have to come home and I would have to give it to my father. And I was absolutely fine with that. It didn't really bother me because I was so excited that I could work with kids. In the way of the path of my dad taking away that check, he saved my money for me. He invested money for me. And I have to say, that was an eye-opener for me. He also allowed me and made me one summer read Cyber-Cybernetics. It is a wonderful, wonderful book. If you've never read it, pick it up and read it. What you put out is what will come to you. And I truly do believe that. So I'm teaching certain ones of my teachers about investments. So some of my teachers do have plans. They have investment plans. And you may not get it now. You may not understand it now, but long term, it's important to understand you may be only making $13, $14 an hour. But if you take 10% and invest that 10%, years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that 10% is different. That 10% is different. I do believe that. I also do believe in education, but I don't believe in spending $60,000 in education. And once you get out, you cannot even afford to pay your education. I believe that. I do believe that this is a system that has been built and has been normalized for us. That is not a good system. I do not encourage people to, once you graduate from high school, that you have to go out and get an education or degree. I refuse to teach that to anybody. God gives you a talent and you need to tap into your talent, because when God gives you that talent, nobody could take it away. It's what you do with that talent that brings you success. I believe that. So yes, I teach my staff. I give my staff one-on-ones to help lead them so that they feel that they are empowering themselves. And in return, I then make them invest some of their money. I absolutely do. Have I made some mistakes? Yes, I have. I have. But in those mistakes, they are mistakes that God is training me to say, Sarah, listen to me when I speak. And I do that. I also want to say this morning that I know that there is a TEACH program out there that is a scholarship for you teachers to get your education for free. You need to get your degrees for free. Let me tell you, if this was going on back in the day, I would have a master's degree in education. But I had to take one class at a time. I had to work 2 jobs to make sure that I kept a roof over my head, food in my mouth, and paid for my education. But even so, doing all of that, I also went and got a degree in business management, which then put me in debt, $60,000. Didn't know how I was going to ever pay that. I didn't, and I'm still paying it. Even as a business owner, I'm still paying for my education. So I tell my teachers there's a TEACH scholarship, and I embark and I work hard on my teachers. Get on it, get on it, get on it. And I will tell you this story and I will leave you with this. Continue to pray for us. I have a young gentleman, and I'm so proud of him. I am so proud of him. He came to me and he basically said, Sarah, or Miss Ash, as they call me, I just want a job where the leader leads and treats me the same way they want to be treated. And I said, great, because that's exactly what I wanted when I was young. I hired him in, And he was like, I'm in college because, if you're working at my school, I expect all of my teachers to be in some kind of educational program, some path to education. However you decide to get it, I need you to be working on it. And he said, I'm in culinary school. I'm going to be a cook. Didn't work for me. It didn't sound right. I was like, why are you in the field of education if you're going to cook? Well, I'm a coach also. Oh, you're a coach. And what do you coach? Little League. Oh, okay, great. The first year he was going to school, and all of a sudden I saw a drop off. I saw lost. I saw confusion. And in our one-on-ones, I kept saying, you have a gift, and it is working with kids. And in this field, we need many men as role models for our young men in this world. And this young man, I said, I feel like the education is your call. No, I'm going to be a cook. I'm going to be a cook. Great. I'll never say no. Let's keep working on being a cook. But he never, ever enrolled again in being a cook in his culinary class. I said, what are we doing? Oh, I have to pay for my other classes because I'm doing this on my own. I said, I have a scholarship for you, but it's in education. And because you're in the field of education, you get it. You understand it. When you read, it's knowledge, I promise you. He said, okay, I'll think about it. And one day we had our one-on-ones, and he said, Miss Ash, I'm thinking about going to school and changing my degree in education. If I could have touched the roof, I think I would have. And today I will tell you, he is in college on the Teach Scholarship, going for his bachelor's degree. I am so proud of this young man. I so am proud of him. And every day he comes to school, he looks alive. He says things that I'm like, wow, I know he is learning because he's in it, and he also is not having to pay for it and in debt. I said to him, I said, no matter what, you get this degree in early childhood education, get this bachelor's degree, and even if you don't stay with me, one day you could go and work in the school system and be a role model. Love those kids, no matter how hard they are, no matter about, the differences that you may face. You will always have a degree to teach. And to see the glow on this young man every day, it melts my heart. He may not know it, he may not understand it, but I will tell you this. Keep praying for us. For the goodness of God is upon us. It is. There are more hard times to come. And I ask you to do something different, directors and business owners in the education field. Do something different. The world has changed. It is not old. And we need to listen to those who are leading us. Pay attention to them. Make sure that you are following the right person. Make sure you are following the right person. I take this time to say to everybody on this beautiful Sunday, thank God for what you have. Thank God for what you had and may not have now. For I thank God for the platform he has given me to touch the little souls that I have touched. To all the teachers out there that are still working at Alfred and Ash Academy, I want to thank you for all of your hard work. And at this time, I want to say, business owners, we have to do something different. Listen to your team, for they work for you. They are there to support you. You have to listen to them. Know that they could be going through something also. So I say at this time, not only do we need to thank God for the goodness that he has given us, we also need to continue to pray for the daycares, the child cares, just the field of education as a whole. And we also need to focus on what we are doing different. What are we doing different? Teach your teachers how to invest so that when they grow old, they have a retirement. They have an investment plan. I say to all of my directors and all of my teachers around the world, I have invested, I have saved. I am retiring at 55. Today I am 50. I have 5 more years and I will retire at making $30,000 to $35,000 a year. To those businesses that I made millions, that paid me 30, I want to say thank you, for you have taught me how to invest what I had. I appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. You might not have known or understood why I was so strong and why I was so strong-willed and why I worked so hard for your business to make millions while you paid me $30,000 a year. Some of you $25,000 a year. I just want to say thank you because I invested my money that is making me millions. As I sit, I'm not taking advantage of anyone. As I sit and I make my money work for me. At 55, I will retire. Teachers, you can do it. Daycare owners, you can do it. You can invest. You can retire at 55. I raise my hands to you and I say you can, but you have to start investing now. Start investing. I promise you that. You can do it. So today I say to all my teachers that I have touched, that I have open investments with, leave it alone. Let it build because it's working for you. I have worked so hard for my investments for 55 years. At 55, my investments now start working for me while I retire and I rest at 55. I want to say to everybody around the world, education is a great field to be in. It is. It's a great field to be in. You have to love those that may not love you. You take care of those that just may not know how to take care of themselves. We wear all types of hats as a director of child care facilities. So at this time, I want to say I am taking off my hat at 55 and I am retiring. I am retiring. I am building my home somewhere else. I will not retire in America. I will not. For you guys do not know what you have when it comes to me. I take my energy, I take my mind, I take my soul to another place that will love me, that will appreciate me and my education, and I will do it for free. I will do it for free. For all I could say now is, I welcome all my teachers. If you don't know how to invest, call me. I'll help you start. I love investing. Even if it's $1 out of 10, you have to start investing. That is the way. It is the key. Education is great, but education will fall you in debt. And that is not the way. It is not the way. I'm sorry, there's a better way. You have to break that cycle. You have to break the cycle. Go to work. Find out your talent. Live within your purpose. And you will make money because you will love it. And invest that for 55 years and retire at 55. I refuse to retire at 64. Refuse. I will not. 55. So at this time, I want to say I took 20 minutes out of your day. I hope you've learned something today. I hope you are willing to accept making a change, doing something different. It may not feel right, but when you see the glory of God afterwards, you'll appreciate it. So I tell all my directors and all my daycare owners, teach your teachers how to invest. The little bit that they have, teach them how to invest. They could retire at 55. I promise you. I promise you. So at this time, I want to say to all of my families, to all of my friends out there, thank you for taking the time to listen to me today. For I now will be signing out with Sofa Talk with Ms. Ash, and may God shine down upon all of you today. Thank you and have a great rest of your day. Signing out, Sofa Talk with Ms. Ash.